Hi boys and girls, Marvelous MaLinda from Mars coming to you with a new story. This one is called Little Whale by Anne McGovern. Illustrations by John Hamburger. You notice it's been chewed on, and you also notice that my friend Ramona is hanging out again. She doesn't want to move, so here we go. Maybe she wants to listen to the story too. Little Whale. There are about 80 different kinds of whales in the oceans of the world. Small whales, bigger whales, and the biggest animals in the world, the great whales. This book is about a humpback whale. The humpback whale is one of the great whales. It has flippers. It has many little bumps on its body. The humpback does not have a hump like a camel. It gets its name from a small fin on its back. It looks like a little hump. Little whale stays close to her mother. She is only 1 day old, but already she weighs a ton. When she grows up, she will be almost as long as a city bus. Little whale was born in the water. As soon as she was born, she could swim. She will live in the water all her life, but she is not a fish. Whales are mammals, and they must breathe air. Little whale must come up for air every few minutes. When she is older, little whale will be able to stay underwater for about 15 minutes, sometimes even longer. When little whale breathes, a misty fountain of tiny drops of water shoots into the air. This fountain is called a spout. A whale breathes through nostrils called blowholes on the top of its head. Little whale is hungry. She drinks the rich milk from her mother's body. For about a year, she will get all the food she needs from her mother's milk. Then she will find her own food in the sea. Mother whale protects her baby from dangerous sharks. She teaches her baby everything a little whale must learn: deep diving, breath holding, leaping clear out of the water, staying underwater without moving. Little whale practices. She is learning how to take care of herself. She is growing bigger. She is no longer having to stay so close to her mother. But one day, little whale swims too far away. Father whale sings a low song underwater. Little whale hears him. She swims back to the sound of his song. The sea is full of songs of humpback whales. Their songs are whistles and clicks and gurgles, squeaks and sighs and moans and groans. Some scientists say that only male whales sing. They guess it is the way whales keep track of each other and find each other in the dark sea. Father whale's song travels far underwater. It can be heard 160 kilometers away. Other humpback whales hear him. They sing in return. A pack of hungry killer whales hears the song of the humpback whale. The killer whale turns and races towards the sound. Little whale's mother and father move closer together. They put their baby between them. A hungry killer whale might attack a little whale, or even a big whale swimming by itself. Dolphins hear him too. Dolphins are smaller relatives of the great whales. The dolphins are playing alongside a ship. They leap high out of the water and fall back into the waves. One sunny day, little whale feels playful. She does one flip after another. Up she comes, way out of the water. She turns in midair and lands on her back. Humpback whales are the most playful of the great whales. They are called the acrobats of the sea. They can leap higher than any other whale. When whales leap high and fall back, whack, they may not always be playing. They may be scratching themselves. Tiny animals called barnacles attach themselves to whales and grow hard shells. Scientists think barnacles make whales itch. One day, little whale hears a bubbly sound. She senses a strange creature nearby. Like all whales, little whale is curious. Now she is close enough to see the creature. It does not look anything like what she has seen before. Not like a fish, not like a boat. A scuba diver comes close. The diver is not afraid. Whales are big, but they are gentle. Little whale is growing bigger. Now she is big enough and strong enough to make a long journey. Every year at the end of winter, the whales leave the warm tropical waters. There is not enough food for adult whales here. They must travel from where the waters are cold and filled with good things for whales to eat. Father whale sings a song underwater. His song may mean time to go. Now the whales gather in the journey. They will travel together in groups. A group of whales is called a pod. A pod may have as few as 3 whales or as many as 15. A whale's journey is called a migration. The journey may be thousands of kilometers long. It may take 3 months. Day and night, the whales move slowly through the water. They hardly rest. How do whales find their way across the wide, wide ocean? Maybe the sun guides them by day. Maybe the stars guide them by night. Maybe the older whales remember some of the things they passed on their journeys. A wreck of a ship or an underwater mountain? No one knows for sure how whales find their way. But year after year, whales return to the same place. Now the whales have reached the cold waters. The long journey is over. The whales will stay in these waters for many months. Little whale does not feel cold. Whales have layers of fat called blubber. Blubber helps them to keep warm. Now there is plenty of food to eat. Humpback whales eat little fish and small shrimp called krill. The big whales can gulp 1,000,000 krill in one mouthful. One day, little whale watches a big humpback whale make a net of bubbles to catch fish. The whale swims below a school of fish. Then it blows bubbles in the water. As the whale swims up and its bubbles form a column. Many fish are trapped in this column of bubbles. Humpback whales don't have teeth. They have a kind of strainer called baleen. A humpback whale takes a big mouthful of seawater filled with tiny creatures. Then the whale closes its huge jaws. It raises its tongue and forces the water out. But the tiny creatures do not escape. They are held back by the bristly baleen and make a good meal for the whale. Now the days are getting frosty with cold. There are many icebergs. Only a few animals can live in such cold. Little whales see walruses and seals and big birds called puffins. One day a big ship steams into the cold waters. It's a whale hunting ship. A helicopter flies above the ship, tracking down whales. Little whale hears the boom of a deadly weapon exploding and killing a big humpback whale. The men haul the dead whale up to their ship. They cut the whale in pieces, they freeze the whale meat and boil the bones and fat to make oil. Little whale and her family are lucky. They have escaped from the whale killers. Every day the ice gets thicker. The icebergs look like tiny mountains of ice above the water, and they are even bigger underneath. The whales must start their long journey back to the warm waters. They must leave soon before they are trapped by the ice. 5 years pass, 5 years of long journeys from warm to cold waters and back again. Now little whale is grown up. One day she hears a whale singing a special song in the sea. Little whale swims to him. They will swim close together. They will mate, and next year she will have a little whale of her own.